Hello and welcome to the broadcast. I'm DJ, the founder of Duransburg International, 7 Spheres of Money System. And tonight we're going to teach you the top 5 mistakes to avoid in peri-biz as well as regular business. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the replay. Make sure you pass this on to your followers. And if you don't follow me, just slide up on Android and follow me, and then to the right on Apple. So thank you for coming out. I'm DJ. Hold on. How's everybody doing? Hey, I appreciate you guys. If you're new to this broadcast for serious people who want to have their money make money after you start making money on Periscope and actually make money in the business world. How you doing, Dr. Finch? How you doing, Funk Master? I appreciate you guys coming out. How you doing, Carrie? Give a few people a chance to come out, and I have to thank Keely for that incredible endorsement of our program. Just to tell you a little bit about me, my name is DJ Duransburg. I have been in business for 2 decades. That's 2 decades. I am a chartered senior financial planner. I'm a certified estate advisor, and I have built 4 7-figure businesses in the past 20 years. I have not made less than 6 figures a year since 2002, and I have worked with a variety of people, and I've helped over 100 people become financially independent, and I've helped over 1,000 people become financially consumer debt free. And that's what our claim to fame is. So tonight, what I want to do is share with everybody out there. I want to teach them how to make that money that you're making in buckets and bags and bushels on Periscope to stay in your bank and make that money make money for you. Because the only rule to money is the velocity of money. I want you guys to write that down. The only rule to money is the velocity of money. If money is not moving and growing, money is not doing anything for you. You can't eat money, and money can't physically keep you warm. So the only rule for money is for it to continuously to move. So here's 5 top mistakes that I've seen people make in business, mistakes over the past 20 years of me being in business. And from going from a professional to self-employed to a business owner, these are some of the things that you just forget about. They're so obvious that you really just forget about them. So I'm going to show you some practical stuff that's obvious, but common sense is not common knowledge. Okay, so I'm about to click over here to my board. All right, you ready, Dr. Finch? Thank you for coming. Share this with your followers, okay? All right, can everybody see that? Excuse my lights looking like UFOs, but take a screenshot of this, okay? Here are the 5 top mistakes that people make, and I'm going to break them down for you. Number 1, pay yourself first. I'm not talking about collecting an income or a salary, okay? Number 2, tax leverage. Number 3, what are you? Are you self-employed or a business? Number 4, what's your intellectual property, your resources, your copyright, your NDA? And number 5, who is on your team? Who are your consultants? Are they CPAs, legal advisors, or business planners? Okay. If you want to take a screenshot of that, guys, go right ahead. And then I'm going to turn the screen back over to me and start a little conversation with you. And as you can see up in the right hand corner, these 5 mistakes over a period of 10 to 20 years can rob you of $500,000 or put $500,000 to $1 million in your bank. And I'll show you how, because I give you guys 3 guesses. You got to excuse my technology. There we go. I'm sorry about that, guys. I give you guys 3 guesses how I know this to be factual. First 2 don't count. The third one is I've done it. Okay. Rule number 1. All right. Check this out. Welcome to the broadcast, Flex Club. And if you're new to the broadcast, put a 1 up there. Let me know what your name is so I can say hello to you and welcome you to the broadcast. The first thing, think about this. You're starting a business, right? And you're going out and you're creating revenue and you're creating money. But when I say pay yourself first, I mean you should set up the number 1 reason why you got in business, a retirement plan. Think about that, guys. It's so obvious we never do that. How many people, by show of hands, put a 2 on the screen if you have never thought about setting up a retirement plan for your new business? Because most people don't. You are so concerned and so worried about making money, you don't set aside money to make money for you to become ultimately successful. There's going to be a point in time, ladies and gentlemen, when you don't want to do anything but sit back and be on the beaches of the world. And guess what? I did that in my first two businesses. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set aside either a Roth IRA, an individual 401k, or a SEP. And the reason why you're going to use these three tools is they're going to determine what type of income, what kind of revenue you have coming into your business. It also will help you utilize the second tool of tax avoidance, not tax evasion. Okay. If you typically make about $50,000 a year and you are self-employed, you can actually lower your tax basis by almost 30%. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. If you make at least $50,000 a year in revenue or income as a SEP, that's a good question. That's a self-employment retirement plan for entrepreneurs. That is a self-employment retirement plan for entrepreneurs. And I'm actually going to show you exactly how that works in about 5 minutes, okay? But let me get back to this. If you were to make $50,000 a year self-employed, and you're self-employed, you automatically are a 1099 by default. So at that point, if you are doing what's smart in business, first thing you're going to do is you're going to set up a tax deferred plan so that you can lower your tax basis. Okay? How do I do that? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set aside some structures for my expenses that I'm going to incorporate into my lifestyle. Okay? Here's how you get financially independent first. You don't have to make $100,000 a year in order to be free if you take your start off business and incorporate your lifestyle legally, tax legally, free. Okay? And how do I know you can do that? You want to get another screenshot? Absolutely. Let me give you turn around here. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I never claimed to be a tax programming professional, but if you can see here, you can take a screenshot of that. All right. And I'll work on my technology skills later. But can you see that? Take a screenshot. Okay. But let me come back to you. Yeah, I'm laughing too because I'm not great at that. But let me tell you how this works. First thing you can do, there's a plan. How many of you guys have a college degree by show of hands? Put a 1 on the screen. Okay. Is this the advanced class? No, this is actually the neophyte class. The advanced class is a lot heavier, but I'm going to keep this real simple like I teach it to my 8-year-old. Okay. So how many of you guys ever worked for a Fortune 1000 company and they said you wanted to continue your education and we will subsidize your education? Anybody ever had that? Okay, I know I had. Do you know there's a plan called the Cafe 125 plan? Okay, a Cafe 125 plan for entrepreneurs and business owners under the IRS code will allow any business to actually pay for college tuition and vocational tuition. And here's a tip. Guess what? You don't have to get an A in order to get full reimbursement. But most of the companies that you guys have worked for said, in order to get 100% reimbursement for that college class, that master's, MBA, you have to get a B or higher for us to give you 100% reimbursement. I would challenge you to go look this up. CAFE, CAFE 125. And that says you can actually pay yourself for continuing education. And all you have to do is pass the class. You can do that up to whatever the curriculum cost is. So on a $50,000 income or revenue as self-employed, you can immediately put $15,000 aside. $15,000 aside. And from that $15,000, ladies and gentlemen, if you paid yourself first, you could actually put that into a Roth IRA, or you could put that into an individual 401k, or you can put it into a self-employed retirement plan. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? That right there, with the rule of 72, if you had a 7% return on your money annually, your money will double every 10 years. And $15,000 in 10 years will get you close to $500,000. Close to $500,000. I give you guys 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count because the third one is I've done it. And I've actually done it for a variety of my independent business owners, self-employed entrepreneurs. Now, understand this. If you have ebbs and flows in self-employment, entrepreneurship, which is going to happen, this will be a rainy day for you. So going to rule number 2, you will use the tax leveraging of tax avoidance, not tax evasion, to actually lower your adjusted gross income. Now you can take your scheduled expenses line per line and actually write them off. Not only do you use your mileage, but your training, all the tools that you're buying to educate yourself on Periscope, there are line by line tax write-off depending on the proper entity structure that you're in. Now, rule number 3 that people make a mistake. They come out and you know what they say? I am an entrepreneur and I own a business. But guess what? If you don't have a business system, you're self-employed. You don't own a business, okay? If you lose your ability to produce income, you're self-employed. You're not a business, okay? So first thing you need to figure out, are you self-employed or are you going to spend the time to create a business system that actually is going to be duplicatable like McDonald's, like Subways, like Chick-fil-A? That usually takes about 6 to 12 months to do it right. So right out the gate, if you are a professional and you are making a transition into Periscope to start making money with digital products, you are self-employed. You're not a business. Now, not saying you won't be a business, but you're not a business right now. So the first thing you need to figure out is, what is my proper structure? And the sexiest thing I see time and time again is that people want to be an LLC. Now, this is the only thing I'm going to say about an LLC on this scope real quickly. An LLC is a limited liability company, and it gives you the ability to share tax advantages and revenue streams with other members. If you are one person, you should not start off as an LLC unless you're planning to bring on business member partners or investors. Because if you want the liability protection that an LLC will provide for you, there are other vehicles much more powerful, such as a corporation. A corporation is the original entity structure based on the Magna Carta that gives you the precedent when there comes any type of lawsuits, any duplication, any problems. An LLC has only been around for about 30 years. Okay, that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. Now, number 4, which is going to be the biggest mistake that you make on Periscope, because I see a lot of people doing affiliate marketing. I see a lot of people doing revenue share programs, collaborations. And the first rule that they violate, because they don't know this rule, because if you're not an entrepreneur and you haven't been stabbed in the back, you haven't been lied to, and you haven't been cheated, you're probably not going to know this one, because you probably are naive like I was 20 years ago. You're going to need a document to protect your intellectual property. You're going to need a resource to protect your resources. And you're going to need someone to not compete against you with information you share to them that's intellectual property for you. And how do I mean by that? And I'll give you an example. I'll give you 3 quick examples that this one document that I invested $6,000 for 20 years ago that has literally made me $1 million in lawsuits and actually saved me $500,000 in people trying to steal from me. This document is called a non-disclosure, non-compete, gag legal document. I'm going to say that again. Non-disclosure, non-compete, gag document. Look up the unauthorized autobiography of Oprah Winfrey, and you'll see that Oprah has people sign this document before she does anything with them. Most successful entrepreneurs, big business owners, especially in startup Silicon Valley, they will not share not one inkling of an idea with you if you don't sign that piece of paper. And then most importantly, there's a thing called tertius interference. What this means, ladies and gentlemen, if I and Keely were sharing information together, and then I gave Keely some critical resources from my resources, and she went to, let's say, Dr. Finch and gave her that information, and her and Dr. Finch started doing business together off of my resources, that's called tertius interference, which means she has prohibited me from taking my creative intellectual property further into the market, and now she has generated business from my vested interest. Now, Keely would never do that, and Dr. Finch would never co-sign that either. But guess what? Don't be naive. I've actually had elders at my church tortiously interfere with me 20 years ago in real estate. I'm sad to say that. I've actually had a best friend stab me in the back over a 7-figure deal because of tortious interference. This is not something that I play with. And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I hear right now there's a big squabble on Periscope about the same thing. Some big time scoper is claiming another scoper actually has stole some of their information. That's called tortious interference. So without this document on your toolkit, you will get taken advantage of sooner or later. The bigger the stakes, the bigger the sharks. Okay? Guess what? I can show you how to get that document, and it'll be the best document you ever had. Now, last but not least, number 5. Everybody's getting business coaches. They're getting tips in order to create digital products, to expand their business, but it's not making them money, but they're paying for the advice. So what you have to do is you have to vet those individuals and actually know what their expertise is. Every lawyer is not created equal. If I have a lawyer and I have a small business concern, you know what kind of lawyer I'm going to pursue? I'm going to pursue a corporate lawyer who actually can show me facts, cases, clients that will, advocate their success to help me. If I'm working with a business accountant, show me your business accountant clients that you have made money for. Show me how you can leverage Cafe Rule 125 for my small business, because in a small business, the IRS allows you 3 years to actually make as many mistakes as you can to solidify your business. But if you don't have the proper structure and the proper team, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose. But if you have the proper business and the proper team, and you avoid these mistakes that I'm referring to, you can actually stand yourself and jump quantum leaps because you have the right system in place. And you don't have to make a lot of money in order to do that. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to recap these top 5 mistakes that people make. And I'm going to share with you is that 1231 is coming fast. So if you have business tools you need to invest in, if you have documents that you need to get to secure the money that you're already making on Periscope, do it by 1231 because it becomes a straight tax line deduction. Now, let me give you a disclaimer. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I am a chartered senior financial planner and a certified estate advisor. I have held over 7 different licenses and I have managed over $60 million in assets under management. And my claim to fame in my company is that I have helped 100 people become financially independent and I've helped 1,000 become consumer debt free. So let me tip the screen real quickly, give you these 5 mistakes to avoid, and I got a free gift for you as well. Hold on. All right, guys. Here's the last go around. If you're just coming in, welcome to the broadcast. I'm DJ. I'm the founder of Duransburg International, 7 Spheres of Money, and welcome to the replay. And we help your money make more money. Just that simple, by utilizing the system of success. And we will help you not make these 5 mistakes. 1, pay yourself first. Utilize a Roth, an individual 401k, or a SEP. The advantages of a Roth, you can put aside $5,500 a year. If you're under 50 years of age, you can put aside $6,500 a year if you're 50 plus. And an individual 401k, you can set aside at least $1,800 a year up to $3,600 a year. And a self-employment plan, you can put up to 25% of your gross revenues or incomes up to a maximum of $53,000 a year tax deferred, guys. And if you do that in 5 years with a 7% return, you will put $1 million in the bank. Second rule, not to make the mistake. Do not. Oh, is it freezing? I'm sorry. Well, I'll see what I can do here. Second thing, real quickly. Do not make the mistake of not getting all the tax advantages that you are afforded by the IRS codes. Okay? I will show you how to do that on a later scope. Number 3, if you think you are a business before you're self-employed, make sure that you find out which one you really are. And number 4, most importantly for everybody here on Periscope, you are exchanging ideas with people. You're exchanging resources with people. You're giving them confident information before you actually have solidified it and secured it. make sure you utilize a document called the NDA non-compete gag document. And guess what? I don't do business with anybody who does not sign that document. So if you don't sign that document, I've only had 3 people, ladies and gentlemen, who have not signed that document in 20 years. And even the ones that signed it, I was able to capture them and prevent them, because this document supersedes any contract that you have with them, because this is the first contract that you officially have from you to them, from them to corporation. So once you share critical information, intellectual property, even if they violate that contract, they now cannot escape you. And here's a great thing. My document, which I'll share with you in a later scope at a discounted price, guess what? My document does not have an expiration date on it. It never expires. That is awesome. So it's been a joy. Thank you for coming out. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing this information. Keely, thanks for providing your followers to come check us out. I'm scoping every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 to 3:30 p.m. And you can catch me. And here's the gift I want to give you guys. I'm going to give you something major for the holidays. Yes, indeed. I'll give you my email. Hold on right here. Up. There we go. Technology. Here we go, guys. Here's what I'm going to give you. If you get a screenshot here, I'm going to give you guys a free $299 PDF that actually tells you how to buy all kind of insurances from A to Z correctly. And I'm also going to give you a video of the 7 spheres of money that will actually talk about the non-compete, non-disclosure item as well. And you can actually get my info right there, info@duransburg.com. And the bonus is the 7 spheres video. And I really appreciate having the time to share this information with you. And if you have any questions, oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me a couple of questions. But that's pretty much all I have for you tonight. These are the top 5 mistakes to avoid in PeriBiz. And primarily, these are the top 5 mistakes to avoid in any business. So if you have already done some of these, don't panic, okay? Sure thing, I can show it to you one more time. Let's see. You know what, guys? Okay, here we go. You want to take another screenshot? Here we go. Top 5 things to avoid in PeriBiz. Number 1, pay yourself first. I don't mean give yourself a salary or income. I mean, set up a retirement plan. Okay. What about meeting for the first time? Do you have them sign a disclosure? No, I don't have them sign a disclosure if I'm doing a complimentary consultation with them. But when I start to talk to them about critical information, absolutely. Because I'm always equipped to do business. Okay. What's the, definition of success? When opportunity meets preparedness. So if we begin to start talking about something that I know that they don't know and they're real serious, then I say, hey, you know what? Do you mind signing this document? And if they hesitate, then I say, hey, well, this can only be a general conversation, or you can pay me for my advice. It's just that simple. Sometimes you have to be straightforward and succinct with people. Okay. Number 2, top thing to avoid, tax leverage, which I mean, get the maximum tax write-offs and tax avoidance, not tax evasion. Number 3, if you think you are a business, okay, you're probably self-employed first and foremost, because a business requires a system. So we need to figure out what type of entity structure you should be participating in. And the most sexiest one is a limited liability company, but it's not always the most appropriate one if you're a one-man, one-woman operation. Number 4, most important for everyone on Periscope, is that the IP information. Got to get that document. Absolutely. Contact me on 7 Spheres of Money and we can talk about getting that document. So the number 4 thing, most importantly for everybody here, your intellectual property, your resources, your intellectual, patent opportunities, your copyrights. You have to secure that information with at least an NDA. If you don't have an NDA, non-compete, and a gag clause, a simple NDA can start the conversation. And the 5th one, and to me, the most important one, because you're making all this money on Periscope, get the right team. Okay. I give you an example right here. If you make $50,000 a year, you can write down as much as 30% of that if you have the right business team together with the right structure and the right savings investment plan. And you can actually incorporate that into your lifestyle by using a little tax law called CAFE 125. Okay, CAFE 125. And if you put aside $15,000 a year, what do you think about hiring VAs? Well, actually, I have a VA. It's a great thing. It's an awesome tool. I mean, I recommend anybody serious about business, invest in a VA if you know what your business system is and also what your standard operating procedures are. But if you're just getting started, I wouldn't jump into spending money, unwisely. That's one of my pet peeves. Don't spend money because everybody else is spending money. Spend money when you're forced to spend money. My dad told me this. He said, until you create revenue, don't go making extra expenses. Until you create revenue, don't go making extra expenses. What do I mean by that? Real simple. Here's what I mean by it. The most important thing about, come on. All right, listen. Here, ladies and gentlemen, most important thing about making expenses is Periscope is virtual. So you don't have to have an office. You don't have to have a brick and mortar. That's the awesome thing about Periscope. The bad thing about Periscope, it's a virtual world. So you can give up information that is intellectual property to yours that actually can make somebody else enriched. Why do that? But at the same time, Periscope is drawing you to say, I can make money quickly. Here's a tip. If you don't already have a high level skill set, you don't have a business, you're not going to make money fast on Periscope. And if you do, nothing wrong with it. Easy come, easy go, because these are the top 5 mistakes that I see day in and day out. And that's why 90% of small business owners are out of business after 3 years. Can you understand that? 90%. So if you want to be in the top 10% and make 50 to 100 grand a year and actually be in the lowest tax bracket, you need to make sure you avoid these top 5 business mistakes. Anybody have any other questions that I can answer for you right now? Because that's pretty much all I have for you tonight. Any questions? Amount? Is that what you say? 101? Yep, right? Oh, I really don't understand that if that was a statement or a question. But pretty much, again, if you don't know who I am, I'm DJ. I'm the founder of Duransburg International, the creator of the 7 Spheres of Money system. I've actually have helped 100 people become financially independent, and I've actually helped over 1,000 people become financially consumer debt free. And here's my last tip. Do you really want to be a millionaire, or do you want to be financially independent and control your life? If you really want to be independent, you only need to make $8,333 a month in passive income. And that'll be my next scope. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Welcome to the replay, and welcome to Duransburg International. And here's the saying my grandfather taught me. I want you to have a palm lifestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, that is plenty of money, peace of mind. I want you to come join Keely and I on the Beaches of the World Club. I love you and I appreciate your time. And make sure, if you're not following me, slide up on Android and follow me. And on Apple, slide to the right and you'll get more $1 million tips from Duransburg International and the 7 Spheres of Money. Thank you very much. God bless.